Ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do today. We have 5 presenters, 5 top VC funds. My name is Gleb. Some of you know me, some of you don't. But what we're going to do has not been done before, and that is we're flipping the script. We're having the VCs come here, pitch for roughly 3 minutes. We're going to be a little lenient, but not too much. And then have you as an audience evaluate them. And if I can have the QR code on the screen right here, I ask you, so if you want to get involved, please open your phones, open it, and you're going to be in real time evaluating. But more importantly, once you fill in the form, when you evaluate each VC, you get to ask a question, which I'll be seeing in real time, and we'll actually be using that and asking them. Now, my name is Gleb. I'm a pitch coach. Yrjo is my delightful partner in crime, so to speak, and a good friend, and we're going to make sure we're going to stay hydrated. Is that right, Yrjo?
At least 2 glasses today.
2 glasses. You have 2 glasses. I gave him a gift yesterday, and he fashionably forgot it in his car. It was a bottle. I'm a little salty about that, so I'm not going to take it out on him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I remind you how this works. You're going to listen to a person for 3 minutes. You're going to give your completely honest feedback using scores, but more importantly, you get to ask what's on your mind. But before we do, let me show of hands. How many of you are founders in the room? Please, make some noise, show of hands. Let's do it. Woo! Come on. Let's do it. Very good. All right, how many are currently venture capital firms? Please show your hands. Let's do this. Venture capital firms. Very good. How many are you currently thinking about building a company? All right. We're getting a good group. So what are you thinking? How are the teams going to perform today? How are the funds going to perform today? What's your take?
There were a couple unfair advantages, as we said yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Especially at
Which
the end
ones?
there. Well, the 500 Europe guy. I mean, the sneakers, the hoodie.
Oh, he's totally cheating.
He was cheating.
He was totally cheating.
He stacked the deck completely.
He absolutely stacked the deck.
Okay, so
I think he positively primed you.
He fooled the audience.
He
right?
did. Well, moderately.
Not fully.
A few.
One thing that we did let people get away with yesterday, the time.
Oh, yeah?
So today, strict on the...
Quite strict. Okay, let's tone it down completely to be completely fair. We got a maximum out of 30 seconds. So as founders, many of you know you have to be sharp on time. Now, to be fair towards you, you get a lot more practice because you have to pitch to VCs. But the VCs themselves usually pitch behind closed doors and they pitch to the LPs, the limited partners. So they didn't get as much practice. So we're going to give them a little bit of slack, but not too much, all right? They're going to show you slides. You're going to listen in, and they're going to sit down on the couch. We're going to have basically a really, really honest conversation. But I also want complete engagement from you. I want you to keep feeding those questions, and please open the form. I kid you not. The more data you have, the better it is. And the end of all this, Yrjo, I heard there's going to be a prize.
That is correct. I almost forgot. Yes.
A secret prize, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to award the winner with a secret prize.
Yes. There's been rumors of what this could be. Remember, we talked about money, Rolex, etc. So we'll unveil what the winner gets.
I think the retail price of a Rolex is what, ladies and gentlemen?
5,000?
No, I think it's 10 or 12K, right? It's a pretty good one, but let's see. All right. If I may welcome on stage our next presenter, and let's switch on the slides for that. Rebecka, our next presenter, is working for a fund called Inventure. They're roughly 150 million, at least the latest fund, if I'm not mistaken. They invested, at least one great example recently would be Rebecka, and Rebecka led that round, and she's delightful, but you will be the judge of that. You will find out what you have to have. I'm obviously biased, but you will be the jury. And you'll be able to be the jury if you open that QR code. I kid you not. People in the back, I can barely see you, but I can see your silhouettes. People on the right, people on the left, let's engage. Please open it up and be ready with your phones, all right? All of you. If I welcome on stage, Rebecka of Inventure. Please, warm hand of applause. Let's do this.
Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Good to be here. All right. Hi, everyone. We're kicking it off? Nice. I'm Rebecka. I'm an investment director at Inventure. I've spent the past 15 years of my career working with fast-growing companies. I started off at Ernst & Young. I've been an operator, a CFO, and then I started investing 8 years ago into tech companies. I invested in a company called Truecaller that is now a unicorn. I invested into Funnel that is a soonicorn, or I hope, and Jobatical as well here in Estonia. And most of all, though, I'm a nerd. Like, I'm a super curious sci-fi nerd, and I think that's why I love innovation and tech so much. And I've always wanted to challenge status quo, and I think that's why I was so attracted to Inventure, a fund that has chosen to do something different. And I think to exponentially be better at something, you have to have a slightly different formula. So Inventure, 150 million euro fund, sounds like a big, fund. Is that good? No, being big in itself is not what matters, right? And come on, I'm a VC, I should like big numbers. But what really, really matters is this. Like, we strive to genuinely be your most trusted early stage investor that truly has your back. And I mean, a lot of VCs think a startup journey is going to be exactly like this, right? It's going to be a straight line, but it's not like that. It's never like that. It's always like this. It always goes up and down and back and forth, and you're failing fast. And that's when you need an investor that you can trust and someone that actually has your back. We have a big portfolio. This is the slide I was not allowed to have, but we have a big portfolio with a lot of companies doing really well. Why? I think it's because we try to provide them with an unfair advantage. And what we mean with that is, like, in any successful company, you need these three things, right? You need access to talent. And we have an amazing talent manager in-house, ex-Spotify, that will help you find your right talent and knows what great looks like. Funding. We have spent the past 15 years in this business building really strong relationships with some of the best funds in the world. And customers. We have a portfolio manager full-time helping our companies with the right introductions. And I think all of us are like true hustlers for our companies. But don't take it from me. Like, take it from our companies. Talk to our founders. Talk to the founders I work with, like the founder of Volt. When we joined, there were only six employees, and we sold that company to DoorDash for 7 billion. Take Jobatical. She is one of my favorite founders that I worked with for only a year. But also, the final thing I want to say, let's see. Hold on. The final thing I want to see is we're team. It's not me. We're a team first team with a always giving mindset. We always try to be helpful with founders and not care about, getting something in return, but always trying to add value. And we're super excited to do a lot more in the Baltics. We've invested here for many years.
And
let's build something great together.
Let's do a hand of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. And welcome our lovely guests. Rebecka, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gleb.
No, I appreciate it. Yrjo, what are your thoughts on this?
How many slides did you have left?
No, that was the last.
That was the last one. That's pretty good.
That's pretty sharp. It's much better compared to what we had last time.
Yeah.
Was that 3:30 or?
It was roughly 3:30, as we agreed on.
That's what I said. Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Listen, you want to be the most trusted advisor. It's at least on the website in the Nordics and the Baltics. Did I get this right that you had like 4 investments in Estonia and maybe a couple in Latvia? Did I get this right?
We have 5 in Estonia.
5 in Estonia now. All right. So thank you for updating me on the numbers there. I appreciate it. But how long did that? So you have multiple funds. Across many years, and it took you that long to get these 5 investments in, and you want to be the most trusted advisor?
Well, in the first couple of funds, we couldn't actually invest that much outside the Nordics, but now we really can.
Oh, yeah?
And we've still been coming for many, many years, and doing a few investments for sure. So I think we've built up a good foundation to do a lot more in this fund.
I see. Yrjo, what are your thoughts? I mean, you've been raising your own funds, you've been investing into ambitious Baltic founders. What are you saying here?
This is a very interesting space, but I think the challenge that a lot of startups have had over the last, post 2021, is difficulties in fundraising, right? Or at least it seems to me that rounds are taking longer, valuations are probably lower, more due diligence, more focus, this and that. and a bunch of startups have to do bridge rounds. Difficult part of the job. How do you choose from your own portfolio? Where do you follow on? Where do you not?
Yeah, we actually have a very structured process how we do that. But I want to say foremost that we do quite often do bridge rounds, and we're high conviction investors. So when we join with a company, if we still believe in their long-term vision and if we still believe in the founders, we're happy to support them, and we've done several bridge rounds when it makes sense. But when it comes to deciding between 2 or 3 different bridge rounds, we as a team, based on data, like performance data of the companies, several different metrics, together with a voting system, we decide which ones are sort of the ones we should back in the bridge round.
And so that is influenced, I assume, by potential outcomes or market size?
So it's a combination. It's a combination on performance, it's a combination on market dynamics, and then, the team voting. So it's a very structured process, and we're also very careful to be super transparent with the founders early on what we're expecting. So I tell founders early on, this is what we should aim at, this is what we need to see, and this is our process internally if we are to back you in the next round. And I think transparency is super important.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Listen, thank you, audience. We've been getting quite a few questions coming in. Rebecka, you're inspiring a lot of questions. So some of these are nicer, some of these are not. You seem super generic in focus. I quote, "What's the purpose of your fund?" I repeat, you seem super generic in focus, as a fund focus. What's the purpose of your fund?
No, that's fair. I mean, we're a generalist fund, but we want to be the very best at the early stages.
And how are they performing? I recently had a talk with a healthcare fund here for 2018, 2019 vintages, because VCs like to think themselves as winemakers. Generalist funds seemingly might not be performing as hot. What's your take on this?
No, I think being the best as a local lead in the really early phases, getting companies through that pre-seed to your A rounds, and as you saw, about 60% of our companies make it. That's our positioning. And then we actually do deep dives, and we have investment theses around what we want to invest in, and we share those on our website. So we try to be transparent around sort of the technology areas that we're currently excited about. So go into our website and check out our blog posts about data or about industry tech and all of this. And that's what we try to do, communicate as a generalist first what we want to do.
Excellent plug.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Listen, how's the fundraising climate going for the funds right now? Because, it's ticking. We're all on LinkedIn or predominantly on LinkedIn. We're seeing these deep dives into, the depths of Tartarus or whatever. Here's a poetic metaphor for all of you. In terms of how much money is being raised by the companies or being invested. But that also means unless you already closed your fund and you have a lot of dry powder, what does it mean for you guys? What's the climate for you?
No, it's definitely been a lot slower in the last year. We did the first close very quickly, and I think it's because we timed it when we sold Volt, so we had a bit of momentum in the beginning. But the last year, it's been really slow and tough for funds to raise as well. I think we've had a little bit of an easier time, because if you have a couple of funds in already, it's easier. I think it's a lot harder for earlier fund managers. And that's something to be a little bit mindful for, I think, as founders, because if it's your first time fund, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to raise the next one, and then you might not actually be around in 3 years. And we saw exactly that during the dot-com bubble. A lot of early funds were completely wiped out during that time.
That's a positive note, Yrjo.
Getting completely wiped out.
That's something I should take away here.
Wow, I like her.
The scores are coming in and drop off.
No, but I hope not, because we need a lot of newer funds as well. And I think...
listen up. Let me just quickly wrap up, because we're getting the scores in. Rebecka is a runner-up for top spot. And in fact, one of these T spots, you're doing really well today.
Come on, keep
Rebecka, thank you very much.
Did I say that I'm competitive?
You're very competitive nerd. Ladies and gentlemen, a hand of applause for Rebecka.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.